Good morning, everybody. I hope you had a good evening, good night. I spent my night yesterday listening to some of my very, very old music from the 50s of Elvis. I have some of his records and I like to sing along with him. I enjoy it. And some of it does make me sad because he fought so much for his life, for his health, for his faith. And I'm very grateful for that music and for the inspiration it brings to me to cling to my faith and to go into God's word, to turn to God when I go through my struggles, and to listen to that music, that gospel music, and the values that he had. It was so groundbreaking, the music for that time, how they used the instruments, what they did with them. It really blows your mind. They didn't have like now we have electronics. You can go in and program the electronics and you can do anything with that. They didn't have all that. So it's pretty amazing for me. I love to listen to his voice and how his voice changed over the years, and just what an inspiration he was for millions of us across the world. How he just blasted onto the scene and everything just took off for him and nothing could stop it. No matter what people did, no matter what the police did, no matter what racists did, no matter what anybody did, God used his life in such a phenomenal way. And I pray that God uses my life in that way, because it's so amazing. I mean, to him, he said he was just an entertainer, but to many of us and to me, he was everything. And his music is everything. I mean, I listen to other artists, don't get me wrong, but to me, there's nobody like Elvis Presley. And this morning when I woke up, as I always do, I prayed for my family, for my sister, my brother, all my family. And I remember my dad in a special way every day in the mornings. Today I thought about him because of this Hurricane Beryl. When it used to lightning and thunder in Zimbabwe, it was really terrible, the storms we used to get. And they used to tell you to tie a wire from your aerial, your TV aerial on your roof, and to take that across and into the ground so that if the lightning hit the house, it would be taken through that wire into the ground and it wouldn't affect your home. It used to thunder and lightning was so bad, the phone used to tinkle. So my dad used to get very frightened, and we were small, we were children, so we used to also get frightened. And he used to take us and sit with us. He had built-in closets in our home. So we used to put a sponge mattress down there, and my sister and I used to sit in there with him until it passed over, because when you were in that space, you couldn't see that lightning as much. And he would sit there with us and read us stories or sing to us and just be with us. He never left us on his own. Left us on our own, and we never left him on his own, because those storms were terrible. And once I remember I was walking home here with my godmother. She had come to visit the family and she spent a day with me, and we were walking home and I said to her, it's going to rain. She's like, no, come, let's just go. I said to her, we can take the bus. She said, no, let's just walk. And we got drenched. It just came pouring down. So the rain that we had reminded me of those family memories. And when I focus on the John Maxwell, like yesterday when I did those readings about how everything starts in the home, I thought about that more this morning when I got up, because my dad never made me frightened. He never made me feel like I have something to fear. He was always there. He was always with us. And I cherish those memories. And he never ever called me names. He never called me a monkey or a donkey or anything. He always called me by my name. And I used to sit on the counter in the shop. When I used to get upset or frightened, it's like your kitchen counter. We had counters, display cases. I used to sit on there and put my head against his chest, and he used to comfort me. So I think it's important to remember that. Yeah, I grew up in a single family home, but whatever time I had with my dad, it was such a blessing to my life. And I give thanks that I had such a wonderful dad and such a loving example to guide me and to help me. And sometimes I do still ask him. I say, hey, Dad, I need a new job. And it needs to be a good job because I've been in slave labor for my life, and I need to start earning some real money so that I can buy a house and do the things that I want to do and buy my car, get my license. And I talk to Elvis about those things too. And why not? They're up there in that heavenly realm. Some people say that there's places in the universe where you can hear the music that's gone by in the past. And why not? They've recorded the music of the universe. If you don't believe me, go on YouTube and search music of the universe. The satellites are now recording the sounds of the earth and the sounds that are in space. And there is music. And music is mathematics. So that's what I thought of today. And I give thanks for Elvis's music and for his faith. Because that faith is what brought me back to Jesus. It's what brought me back to the Lord. And I like doing John Maxwell because anybody can do it. It doesn't matter whether you're a man or whether you're a woman. I don't have to stand up in the church and give sermons or give meditations or reflections. Now I've got something where I can use the teachings and I can also combine it with the business aspect. And there are people who are interested in it. There are people who want those values brought into their companies, brought into their workplaces, brought into their colleges and their schools. So if I can share it with others, like I'm doing now on YouTube, and get people following me, that's good. Because over time, who knows how things turn out. But this Hurricane Beryl definitely reminded me of that. I was not frightened. I mean, I know that there are systems in place to protect us, but at the same time, it just brings home the reality that at any time our lives could be taken from us. There's accidents that happen on roads. There's strange things that happen on this earth that people can't explain. They found places through National Geographic where the things that are talked about in the Bible, they've actually seen things like that, like the cherubim. There's things that look like the cherubim that are mentioned in the Bible, or there's places where you can see some of these things. So it's an interesting world we live in. I think as time goes by, maybe not in my generation, but in future generations, people will come to realize how true the Bible is, how true every word is that Jesus fulfilled in the New Testament. And for those who don't believe, that's not my problem. I've studied too much. I've seen too many miracles, including of the Eucharist. I've had a miracle in my life because the pressure I was under and the pain I was in, I couldn't even get up from the chair without feeling like I was decrepit because of everybody coming at me, telling me I couldn't hold a job, I was the problem, I couldn't achieve anything, I couldn't hold the top jobs, and even in the workplace because they were letting me go for things that other people did. If I told somebody how to file something and they didn't file it in the right place, they fired me because of that. I mean, I don't understand this culture. I thought everybody was given an opportunity to learn, to grow, to make mistakes. But with me, everything had to be perfect. If I made even one mistake, they let me go. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. Do they think that I'm a robot? That I can't make any mistakes, or that if other people make mistakes, then I must be punished for it? I had one manager at TD, Laura. She asked me to set up a meeting for her and her travel. And then I said to her, oh, are you meeting at the office there? And she's like, no, we're meeting in his home. I was like, oh, what's your problem, woman? I mean, normally people don't meet in people's home, but I didn't say anything to her. She wanted to bring her daughter into the company. I got no time for it. If you want to bring your daughters and your mentees and whoever in, don't hire me and then take your frustration out on me. The same thing happened at BMO. They got them to let me go, saying, oh, she's too highly qualified for this job. I want to bring in my mentee. I want to bring in somebody that I'm chaperoning. So why do you hire me then? And if you're going to bring your mentee in, why don't you find me another opportunity in BMO instead of letting me go and making my life get spoiled because you want the favor to go to somebody else? I get all these offers. I see them from BMO. I don't apply anymore. Jason Peel is there. I supported Jason Peel when I worked for Jean de Gagne. Because when I used to even go to them and tell them, they didn't help me. So I just don't bother anymore. And even all these people, they make assumptions that because I'm in the One campaign or because I'm putting messages on Springsteen's page or Andy Murray's page that they're helping me. They're not helping me. I'm helping them. I'm doing for them. I'm volunteering for them. They're not helping me. They're not giving me money. Oh, I wanted so-and-so to get some support. If you want to get support, go and write to them. Put messages on their wall. Email them. Send messages to their foundation and ask them. Say, oh, my daughter needs some support. Or my son needs some support. Don't keep coming after me. Because I did nothing to you and your families. And neither has my sister. Some people are so rude when you talk to them, they go, oh. I mean, it's like what they do to Novak. He's playing tennis just like everybody else. If you don't like him, have some respect. You don't have to boo him on the court. He was the number one in the world, and he's still exceptionally good. I mean, people are so rude. I don't get it. I really don't get it. It's really disgusting. Not only what people do to me, but what people do to people like Novak Djokovic and the best players in the world. I mean, it's frustrating. I worked so hard to get those opportunities at BMO, at TD, in all the banks. After 1 or 2 months, they let me go. Why? They wanted somebody else there. So don't hire me. Just don't bloody hire me. Bring your protege in, bring your mentee in, bring who you want, and put me in a top position where I can work and I can do my job and I can get support and mentoring and I can make mistakes and fix them. Because I'm sick of it. I do wish my dad was around because my dad was our protector. We don't expect anybody else to be there for us like my dad. We don't expect my uncles to be our dad. No way. They are them. My dad, nobody was like my dad. He did everything for everyone. He took his cousins to school. He brought them home. He picked them up. He helped the community. He was an exceptional example. Exceptional.